Hello, I'm John Spence, and welcome to what may be the most important video I've ever shot. And the reason for that is, in this video today, I'm going to teach you the secret to success. Yeah, and I'm not kidding. I'm totally serious. No smoke, no mirrors, no charge, totally free. I'm honestly going to teach you what it takes to be incredibly successful. And let me tell you why. I'm shooting this video on Sunday, August 21st, 2011. And as anyone would know, during this time in our country, very, very serious economic turmoil, on the verge of a second recession, if not into it. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are having a hard time. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Many people are struggling very hard to make ends meet. And in the last 2 weeks, I have been inundated with just email after email after email from people promising to teach me the secret to success for just $499.95, or buy my 5D CD set to become a millionaire this week for $150, you know, and on with all of these people preying on people that are struggling to be successful, struggling to get their lives on track, struggling to make ends meet. And frankly, it just pissed me off. I mean, I look at this and go, most of this stuff that I see is total crap. It's a lie. It's manipulation. These people don't know the secret to success. They're not successful themselves. The only thing they're successful at is selling crap to people that isn't going to really help them. So what I decided to do is take everything I've learned about this topic and put it in this video. So sit back, get ready to learn, and I truly am going to teach you the secret to success and several other really important things that can dramatically impact your life in a positive way, and I'm going to do it all for free. Okay, before we get into this, very, very quickly, I want to give you a little background on myself to help you understand. It's sort of my earn the right to teach this and give you a little credibility. So, very quickly, after a really rocky start in college in 1982, I failed out of college in 1984. Not a very great start to things there. But that was the turning point in my life. That is when I realized that all of the hopes and dreams and my desire to own companies and travel around the world and become wealthy and hang out with cool people and do neat stuff, that's all what I wanted to have in my life. And I realized that I was about to throw all of that away. That I was about to take everything I wanted and toss it in the garbage can because I didn't have the discipline, nor did I understand the secret to success in college. So I decided right at that point in my life, if I wanted to be successful, I would have to become an expert on success. I would have to learn everything I humanly could about what it took to build a happy, balanced, joyful, and successful life. And I began a quest, I mean really a quest that I've been on ever since about how to learn as much as I could about what it took to build a truly successful life. Fast forward a little bit, by 1989, a couple years later, I graduated from the University of Florida in the top 3 in the United States in my major. I got hired directly out of college to go to work for the Rockefellers. A few years later, at the age of 26, I was named CEO of an international Rockefeller Foundation, working directly for Winthrop P. Rockefeller III, overseeing projects in 20 countries around the world, working with foreign dignitaries, flying all over in private Learjets and things like that. Stayed there for a number of years. I left to become the CEO of another international company, and I was the stand-in CEO. I ran that company for just a few years to get it solid, on track, moving, going forward. And once I had that, I moved on to another international company. Same thing, I was supposed to come in and get it set and going. And then a few years later, after doing that, I went and I became independent. And basically since that time, for the last 20 years of my life, I have worked as an executive educator, basically a high-level executive trainer, an executive coach, and a professional speaker to some of the top companies on the face of the earth, from Microsoft and GE and IBM and Qualcomm and on and on and on. You can see the list here. There's some very good companies, and it's important to note that in most of these companies, I don't just fly in for the day and give a speech and run out. I'm there for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, working shoulder to shoulder with their top executives, learning how they run their business as well, and it's my job to help the business run better. And in most of these companies, I'm teaching leadership, strategy, business excellence, and career success. I've also lectured at more than 90 colleges and universities around the United States of America, some of the most prestigious schools. Again, I'm there to teach leadership and how to succeed in school and life. So the reason I tell you all this is I have spent 25 years of my life doing everything I could to learn everything I possibly could about success. I've read a minimum of 100 to 120 business books a year, and self-help books and philosophy books and success books every year since 1989. 100 to 120. I listen to another 30 to 50 on audio. I read about a dozen magazines a month. I travel to the top seminars around the world to learn from the best people. I've spent tens of thousands of hours reading, thousands of hours listening to audio tapes, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars going to the best seminars in the world, and I'm going to teach you the secret to success right now. And this is based on everything I've learned. It's very clear. I wish I could make it more complicated than this, but I'm going to tell you right now, the secret to success is very, very straightforward. It's very easy. Hard to apply. I'm not going to lie to you, very hard, but easy to understand. So here we go. The secret to success is a three-step process. 3 steps. The first step is figure out what you really, truly, honestly want to achieve. And believe it or not, most people never do this. They never sit down and say, what do I honestly want out of my life? You know, based on my values, my life, the things I've always dreamed of. Not what society says, or what your family says, or what you see on TV, but sit down and have a heart-to-heart talk with yourself and say, what do I truly want? You know, what do I honestly value in my life? You know, maybe you want to become incredibly rich, famous, and powerful. You know, maybe you want to own a private island in the Bahamas. I have no problem with that. If you want to fleet of Learjets and boats and fly all over the world and hang out in Vegas and party and drink champagne and be a bazillionaire, I have no problem with that if that's truly what you value and truly what you want. And I can help you achieve that. If you don't value any of that, if you just want to be a great parent, or you want to make a bunch of money so you can give it all away to charity, or you want to travel and do mission trips in Africa or someplace else, or you want to be a musician or write poetry, and being rich, famous, and powerful is not what you want, you've got something else, it doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is that you clearly understand what you deeply, deeply want to achieve in your life and what you're willing to sacrifice for, to work hard for, to give 110% of your effort for, because if you really achieved it, you wake up one day and go, wow, this is everything I ever wanted. This is so cool. I am living my dream life. So step 1 in the 3-step process for success, the secret to success, is take the time to sit down and figure out deeply, truly, honestly, what do you really want to achieve? What would your ideal life look like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from today, and get it very clear, very specific, very detailed, so you have a very clear picture of, this is honestly what I want to achieve in my life. This is my ideal life. This is my dream life. This is my personal definition of success. If I live this way, I would consider myself highly successful. So step 1 is take the time to figure out your ideal life, your definition of success. Okay, step 2 in the 3-step process of success, the secret to success, is that now that you understand very, very clearly what you really, honestly, truly want to do with your life, what your ideal life looks like, got that clear picture, now you have to back up and say, all right, what price must I pay to achieve that? What will I have to get, give, or give up in order to pay the price to achieve everything I need to achieve to make myself live my ideal life, to create that ideal life, to earn that ideal life? This is another thing that most people don't do. You know, they might know what they want to do in their life. They might have a general idea. They might even have a specific idea. But very few people sit down and say, all right, if this is really what I want to achieve, this is really the life I want, let me create a checklist here of everything it will take that I have to do in order to earn that life. Let me use myself as an example. I'll just use this briefly. This is not a video about me. This is a video about you. But in about the year 2000, I decided that one of my goals in my life was to be recognized as a national or international authority on business excellence, and to be a professional speaker that traveled around the world giving speeches on business success, strategy, leadership, high-performance teams, things like that. So I backed up, and rather than just try to figure it out on my own, I'm going to do what I'm going to suggest to you, which is find somebody else that has already achieved what you want to achieve. You know, look around, and there's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 people, or people close to, that have the life that you want to have, that have done the stuff that you're talking about doing. So I looked around all over the world, and I realized that there was a guy that was almost living exactly what I wanted to do, and his name was Tom Peters. He's considered one of the top business gurus in the world, and he's written a couple best-selling books. And so what I did is I studied Tom Peters and a few others, like Jim Collins, who's also very famous in this, and Seth Godin, and a few others. I had a list, but really Tom Peters was the guy I looked at and said, this guy pretty much has done exactly what I want to do. So I looked at it and I created a checklist. What did Tom Peters do to get to where he was? Well, it's pretty straightforward. He had an amazing background. Worked in the Pentagon, multiple degrees, things like that, pretty impressive. He went to work for one of the top consulting firms in the country, had really cool projects, did really neat projects for that consulting firm, created some proprietary research, developed some stuff, wrote a couple best-selling books, worked for a bunch of the Fortune 100, did work all over the world, has won a bunch of awards. He's pretty much considered the world's leading business guru. So I wrote a checklist. I said, all right, if I want to be like Tom Peters, I have to do all the stuff on this checklist if I want to earn the right to do that. So in 2000, I put my head down and I said, all right, I'm going to check the boxes on this list, everyone that I possibly can. Luckily, I had a pretty good background, former CEO of a Rockefeller Foundation at age 26, check. Consulting firm. I went to work for one of the top strategic sales training firms in the country and strategic planning firms, and I was supposed to be CEO. I ended up becoming a partner and then leaving. Check, I did that. Worked on Fortune 100 projects. You saw the slide at the beginning. I've worked for most of the major Fortune 100 companies at a very high level. Check. International work. I've gone through several passports. I've worked in about 20 countries, done major projects all over the world. Check. And I just kept going down. Major universities, become a guest lecturer. Princeton, or not Princeton, the Wharton School of Business, Cornell, Stanford, check, 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 got those. Awards. This is one that's a little tougher. I looked at it and said, I got to win some awards. So luckily my name got put in, and this February I was named one of the top 100 business thought leaders in America in trustworthy business behaviors. By the way, that's a good thing to know for this tape, that you've got one of the top 100 trustworthy business thinkers in America teaching it to you. And tomorrow, August 22nd, 2011, they are announcing who the top 100 small business influencers in America are. And going into this competition, it was a national voting competition. When they closed down the voting, I was number 17 in the United States in small business influencers and number 7 in the gurus. And I've got my fingers crossed. I would love to win that award. It's a prestigious award. But here's another checkbox. If I win that, I am now one of the top 100 business thought leaders and one of the top 100 small business influencers and number 7 in gurus. Check, check, check. You get my point. The idea is figure out who's already done it. Look around the world, do the study, Google them, do everything, study what they've done, and then create a checklist for yourself and say, if this is the life that I want to achieve, this is the stuff that I'm going to have to give, get, or give up in order to achieve that. Which this is a really good point to say this. If you're going to spend all this time to give, get, and give up in order to achieve your ideal life, to pay the price, it better be a values-based vision. The thing that you want to create, the life you want to create, better align very well with your core values. And hopefully there's things like contribution, connection, family, faith, love, all those sort of things are part of the value structure that underlines the ideal life you'd like to create. So that every day you work harder on it, paying the price and achieving it, you're also creating stronger bonds with your family, stronger bonds with your community, you're helping more people. I mean, let me give you my business philosophy. It's pretty straightforward. If you just help enough other people get what they need, you will get everything you need. I learned that from Zig Ziglar in one of the tapes I listened to. It's about an abundance mentality versus a scarcity mentality. And the truth is, there is plenty for everybody if you will follow these 3 steps for success, the secret to success. Step 1, figure out what you truly, truly, honestly want in your life, a values-based ideal life. Then step 2, which is figure out everything that it will take to achieve it. What is the price you must pay? What must you give, get, give up in order to pay the price to achieve what you want? And then we're going to look at step number 3, which is put your head down and do everything you possibly have to do to pay that price. You get up every morning and you say, is what I'm about to do right now going to move me one step closer or further away from doing the things on my checklist that will move me towards living my ideal life? So the 3rd step, and here's the 3 steps. Number 1, figure out what you truly, honestly want in your life. Number 2, create a list of everything you'll have to pay the price to get there, all the boxes you're going to check, all the things you're going to have to get, give, or give up. And then step 3 is get up every day and take massive action on that list. And eventually, and it doesn't happen overnight, eventually you will check a bunch of stuff on the list and you will move closer and you'll look up one day and you will be living that life. And I assure you this is the way it works. There are no overnight successes. People go, oh, I just want to do something like Google or Facebook and invent something and become a millionaire overnight. That doesn't happen. Do some research. Look at Google. That didn't happen overnight. That happened over years and years and years. Yeah, they had an idea, but they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars and had thousands of the smartest people on the face of the earth working at Google for years and years and years in order for the guys there to become billionaires. And by the way, I met one of the owners. He's a brilliant guy. He's worked his ass off. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, Great kid, super bright. He didn't become a gazillionaire overnight. He was at Harvard, pretty good school, so he obviously was pretty sharp. He was surrounded by some of the smartest people in the world. And he worked really hard. I mean, Facebook, he didn't go from $0 to $1 billion in a week. It took years. It's taken years and years and years. He spent hundreds of millions of dollars. He has thousands of people that work for him. So even the people that are quote-unquote overnight successes, if you study them, they have paid the price. They're really good at what they do. They work hard. They focus. They spend years. So let me close this, and I'm going to teach you a couple more things here that add into this that are major, major ideas that will go with this 3-step secret to success. And I'm sorry it wasn't more complex. I'm sorry it wasn't more challenging as far as the ideas go. But really, I'm telling you, after reading thousands of books on this and spending more than 20 years on it and working for billionaires and working in some of the top companies in the world and spending time with some of the most successful people on the face of the earth, I will tell you very clearly the secret to success is figure out what you really want, figure out what it'll honestly take to get that, then get up every day and work as hard as you can on paying the price to get what you want and achieve your ideal life. That, my friends, is honestly the secret to success. Now I'd like to teach you a couple other ideas that are extremely powerful and that go along with the secret to success, and these will help you a great deal. And the first thing I'm going to teach you is the single most important thing I've ever learned in my life. Out of all the books, all the audio tapes, all the people I've worked with, everything I've done, this is the single most important thing I've ever learned in my life. And here it is. You become what you focus on, and similar to the people you spend time with. Whatever you think about, whatever you fill your mind with, whatever you're reading, studying, learning, watching, listening to, whatever you fill your brain with, and whoever you choose as your circle of friends, your circle of associates and colleagues and partners, whoever you choose to surround yourself with will determine what your life will look like a decade from now and for the rest of your life. Let me tell you quickly how I learned this. I told you at the beginning of the video I failed out of college with a 1.6 GPA. Not impressive. And what I learned from that was that I didn't do what was necessary, which is, in college it's pretty easy. There's 3 things it takes to be successful in school and college. Number 1, read the books. In college, all of the answers are in the books. If you'll just read the books, go to class, listen to the professor, do that stuff, do the studying that's necessary, you'll have most of the information that's necessary to get an A. Number 2 is ask for help. Ask the professor, ask the teachers, ask everybody in sight for help. Number 3 is form study groups. And here's what I learned. I failed out of the University of Miami in Miami, Florida. When I was there, I had a 1.6 GPA. All my friends had a 1.2, a 0.9, a 1.0. I was the academic stud of my group at a 1.6. I was setting the curve for my team. Not really, really great. And the problem was, misery loves company, and when someone is failing, they want everyone else to fail so they can say, see, it wasn't me, I'm not stupid, it's the professor's fault, or it's this, or the test was too hard. And that's what my friends were doing. And I always get what's called positive reinforcement for negative behavior. I'm failing out of school, I'm drinking too much, I'm partying, I'm not going to class, and none of my friends are either. So they're fully supportive of my actions. Positive reinforcement for negative behavior. I'm doing stuff that's terrible for me, and my friends are going, us too. Great. So I changed that all around. I said, I'm going to totally change my focus in college, and I'm going to totally change who I spend time with, because I want to change my life. So after getting kicked out of the University of Miami, I eventually ended up after community college at Santa Fe Community College, which was a great school, I ended up at University of Florida, and here's what I did. I started study groups in all my classes. I would stand up and say, hi, I'm John, I really want to do well in this class. Anyone that wants to study, join my study group is welcome, as long as you have a 3.6 GPA or higher. In other words, I found the best students, and I said, come and work with me. Let's work together. Let's help each other. We went and saw the professor. We got copies of the old tests if that was legal. We got tutors. We helped each other. We studied together. College was actually easier for me than anyone else because I had 5 friends helping me. We ended up with a study group of 6 of us. I did a fifth of the work because it's the same thing in life. Find the smartest people, put them on your team, get them to help you help each other, and things get incredibly easy. So part of this is you've got to go out and find a group of bright, sharp, smart, values-based people, talented, bright, sharp people to help you, and then ask for help, and then give them help. And if you start to do that now, that circle will grow and grow and grow until you have a huge network of incredibly bright people and talented people that are interested in your success, that are invested in your success, that want to help you. And as you become more successful, then you can turn around and help the other ones behind you. It's a virtuous cycle. It's a great big group of people helping each other get better. And by the way, a lot of you that are watching this video are big self-help fans. This is mastermind groups from Napoleon Hill. He said it was one of the master keys of success in the universe form mastermind groups. So let me end this idea right here. It's a very, very profound idea. It's a critical idea, and it's one I strongly recommend that you take control of in your life, that you become proactive of. Here it is again. You become what you focus on and like the people you spend time with. So be very, very diligent in focusing on the right stuff, asking the right questions, filling your brain with the best information you can possibly get, and surrounding yourself with a group of incredibly smart, talented, honest, high-integrity people that will help you become more successful, and then you can help them become more successful because of all the great stuff that you're learning and you're doing and sharing with each other. This, my friends, honestly is another absolutely critical secret to success. Okay, here comes another really, really important one. I borrowed this from Jim Collins in his amazing business book, Good to Great. And I won't bring you through the whole book, but he looked at several thousand companies and boiled it down to 10. These 10 were 400 to 700% better than the nearest competitor for a minimum of 15 years. In other words, they just basically kicked butt for a decade and a half and were 700% better than anybody they competed against. Now, we'll do a little caveat here. A couple of the companies, it turned out, did not tell the truth. They did not report the actual numbers to Jim Collins or the world, and have since gotten in a lot of trouble. And well, two of them were Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. He looked at those in his book and said, these are great. Well, it's easy to look great if you're trying to fake it, which is one of the things that I hate in the success literature, is the fake it till you make it. You know, if you're going to give a speech, you can fake confidence. If you're uncomfortable in crowds, you can fake it. But you cannot fake being successful. You can't fake it till you make it in that. Fannie Mae couldn't fake, you know, being successful when they put fake numbers out, and pretty much now they're in massive trouble and billions of dollars of debt, and they've helped pull the entire U.S. economy down with them. This is not faking it till you make it. But so part of my idea here is, again, is there is no smoke and mirrors here. There is no shortcut. There's no silver bullet. There's no pill you take. You actually have to do the work. And now let's go back to Jim's book. And he looked at these companies and did a lot of research and identified that they do three things that make them world class, and I believe it's exactly the same for you. So here's the three circles that he called the hedgehog concept, the three circles of greatness. Circle number one, what are you truly great at? What are you world class at? What are you genetically hardwired to do well? What just comes easy and naturally to you that you're really, really good at? So what are your core competencies? What are you uniquely qualified to do? So that's step one, is what am I really great at? What am I world class at? Or could truly become world class at? Circle number one, core competencies, your core competencies. Circle number two is that you're passionate about, that you love to do, that you're having fun, that's exciting for you, that doesn't feel like work. You know, another secret to success is if you do what you love and you're really good at it and you work really hard at something you love, it never feels like work. It never feels like you have a job. I mean, I get paid to do this for a living. I love this. I can't believe that people pay me to read books, study, learn, and share information to help them. It's awesome. I mean, I do it for free. I'm doing it for free right now because I believe in it. It's a passion of mine. You need the same thing for your goal. Whatever your ideal life is, it's got to be based on your core competencies and your passion, the thing you're great about. And then the third circle, and this one is critical, is that has strong economic value in the marketplace. That some place that people are willing to trade value for what you bring to the table, for the value you bring. And in most places, the value you're going to trade is money. Now, you can use that money for whatever you want to use it for. You might use it to build a mansion or buy a jet, or you might use it to build a school or endow a hospital. It doesn't matter, but the key is where those three circles overlap. Your core competencies, your passion, and big economic value in the marketplace, and a skill, a talent, an ability, a product, an idea that people are willing to pay a lot of money for, where those three circles overlap is where you create greatness. That is where you create success. So let me end on this idea by challenging you. What are you genetically hardwired to do well? What are you really good at? What comes naturally to you? What does everyone just say, wow, you're great at that? Number two is that you love to do, that's fun for you, that you enjoy doing, that you would do for free, that you do in your spare time, that if you had all the money in the world, you would still continue to do it because you're passionate about it. And number three is, does it have a really strong economic driver in the marketplace? I've got just one more thing I want to share with you. I want to keep this video fairly brief. I've already gone too long, but I got one more idea that I also think is critical. And this comes from a very good friend of mine, Tim Sanders, who wrote an outstanding book called Love is the Killer App. Tim's a brilliant guy, worked at Google, Yahoo. He was at Yahoo for years. Neat guy, and he wrote a book about what he believes it takes to build the ideal career. And I'm 110% in agreement with him. It's one of the mantras I've used. It's one of my secrets of success, and I believe very strongly. And his is a 3-step process as well. And here it is. Tim says if you want to build a world-class career, a world-class life, you really want to be successful, it takes 3 things. The first thing is knowledge, K, knowledge. You've got to be bright, sharp, smart, and talented at something that's highly valuable in the marketplace. Are you beginning to see a pattern here? And the reason is because these are truths. They all overlap. If you look at all these things, all the secrets to success, all the ways to become successful, truly, not the fake ones, but the real ones, they all say the same stuff. So the first one of Tim's is knowledge. You've got to be really, really good at something that's highly valuable in the marketplace. Really talented at something that people are willing to pay for. Knowledge. The next one is network. A lot of the right people need to know that about you. And by right people, what I mean is what I call hubs. People that by the nature of who they are, if they really like you, if they know that you're really good at something, they don't tell a few people or a few dozen, they tell hundreds or thousands of people. That they get on email and they send out an email to everybody they know. They get on LinkedIn and they send it to their whole network. They get on the phone and they tell 15 or 20 of the top people in the world about this unbelievable person they met who has this incredible skill, which would be you. So that you got to have that network of hubs. Key people that believe in you, that think you're great, that think you're smart, that know you add value, and are willing to basically evangelize on your behalf, to become raving fans for you, if you have the third element. Must have the third element. And the third element is love. Are you an honest, kind, loving person of high integrity that tells the truth? If you're a kind, honest, loving person that tells the truth, that has high integrity, and a lot of the right people know that about you, these hubs, and they also know that you're really, really good at something that adds a lot of value in the marketplace. Whether the marketplace is your neighborhood, your town, your city, your community, your state, or the whole world, whatever marketplace you play in, you're really valuable in the marketplace. You're a kind, honest, loving person of high integrity, and a lot of the right people know that about you. You have any job in any company, in any country, at any salary you want, anywhere in the world. So the 3 big questions that go with that are, what did I learn today? Who did I meet today? And did I live my values today? If you get up every day and ask those 3 questions, what am I learning? Am I getting new knowledge, new stuff that's valuable in the marketplace? Am I increasing my skill base? Am I adding to my core competencies? Am I paying the price to do the things that I have to do to move in the direction of my ideal life? Am I gaining the knowledge necessary to create the life I want to create? That's question 1. What am I learning today? Number 2 is, who am I meeting today? Am I meeting people that if I can impress them with my talent and my value, and they also know that I have great values, I'm a person of integrity, am I meeting the kind of people that on my behalf will tell everybody they know and help me build my network and build my value and build my success? Which brings me to the third question is, am I living my values today? Am I telling the truth? Am I being authentic? Am I living a values-based life? If you can do those 3 things and ask those 3 questions every day, what am I learning? Who am I meeting? Am I living my values? And you do that day in and day out for the next 5, 10, 15 years, I promise you, you will look up and you will have created massive success, and if you want it, massive wealth. So that is the last thing I'm going to teach you today, and I've got a few parting thoughts I want to leave with you. But again, 3-step process for success. What do you really, really want? What will it honestly take to get there? And then apply massive action. You know, the 3 circles. What are my core competencies? What am I passionate about? What adds value in the marketplace? The 3 key steps for building a world-class career. Knowledge, network, love. K, N, and L. What am I bright, sharp, smart, and talented at that has massive value in the marketplace? Do a lot of the right people know that about me? And am I a person of values? Am I living an honest life of high integrity? And then last but not least, the most important one is, you become what you focus on and like the people you spend time with. So what are you filling your brain with? What are you reading, studying, learning, watching, listening to, and who are you surrounding yourself with? Because those two things, more than anything else, will determine what your life will look like in the future. And if you want to achieve that ideal life, you've got to fill your mind with the right stuff and surround yourself with the right people. Well, there it is. I just shared with you, as far as I know, the secrets to success. No smoke, no mirrors, no fake until you make it. I honestly believe, and I've spent 2 decades studying this, I've spent time with billionaires and multimillionaires and some of those successful people on the face of the earth. I've taught at some of the top colleges. I've traveled all over the world. I've just shared with you tens of thousands of pages of research and thousands of hours of work boiled down to those couple of core ideas. But here's the point. Those ideas are useless if you don't apply action. It's one thing to know this stuff. It's one thing to understand it. It's one thing to read it in a book or listen to a tape. And a lot of people get addicted to that. They read, listen constantly, but you got to take those ideas and translate them into action. You got to get up every day and say, how do I add more value? How do I create more wealth? How do I create more happiness? How do I create more success? Ideas alone are enough. Ideas with works. Ideas with action. You got to take it and apply it. And that's why I keep pressing on getting up every day and asking yourself this question. Is what I'm going to do right now going to move me closer to my ideal life or further away from it? If it's closer, do it. If it's further away, I take some serious time to think about it and consider not doing it. Now I'm going to ask you for one or two favors. If you thought this video was good, then I would love you to send it to everybody you know. I mean, if you honestly feel like I shared some good ideas here, some good stuff, I need your help in spreading this all over the world. I am tired of people saying, I will teach you the secret of success for $500. Join my club, do this, do that. This information should be shared with everybody. I've tried to be as honest and truthful and straightforward with you as possible and give you the real deal. And I think after listening to this video, you probably realize I'm telling the truth and what I'm saying is right. And whether it's easy or whether you like it, that's not my deal. But my deal is I'm honestly telling you this is what it takes to build massive wealth and massive success if you want to. One little last caveat, and I've given all of this to you so far for free. If you want a workbook to go through this, I have written one. When I failed out of college, I sat down and I began to collect all the best information to help myself. I never intended to teach it to anyone else. I never intended to give it or sell it or anything else like that. And I built myself what I called my own Strategies for Success workbook, my Strategies for Life Success workbook. It was basically a strategic planning workbook for my life. And I used it for years and I still use it today. I fill it out 3 times a year. I sit down and go through it. It's basically a workbook to go through all the stuff I just taught you. If you would like a copy of that I will sell you. And there's a little button down here you can click on and go to Lulu and buy one. And here, you know, I'm not obviously, it's $11 to buy a hardbound one that's got spiral bound you go through. It's $5 to just download one and get the PDF and print it off. So if you feel like you need a little workbook to go through this and help you and get some more ideas, it's only 43 pages. It's very focused. It's all the stuff I just taught you and probably another 50% more. And it's places where you sit down and fill out your values and fill out your ideal life and fill out what you're focusing on and who you spend time with. And what I found is when you get all that down on paper and you're looking at it and it stares you back in the face, it becomes pretty obvious what you need to do. But I'm going to tell you this right now. You don't need the workbook. I mean, I've just taught you everything I know. You can sit down and do this on your own on a piece of paper and a pad or on your computer without anything. But if you feel like you'd like a little framework to it, a little bit more process, I put together this workbook and it's very focused, very detailed, lots of great ideas, lots of workshops. It'll help you. Just click the button. But more important than that, even if you don't do that, I don't care about that. Please do send this video to anyone you feel needs to hear this information, because I honestly believe if you take these ideas and you apply them in your life, it can have a massive positive impact. And that was the whole goal of doing this video, is let me try to offer as much help and value as I can to you so that you can take this and share this with as many people and help them and add value to them. So with that said, in my opinion today, I have shared with you the secret to success. I hope that you will take it and apply it and use it and share it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, issues, feedback, anything, I welcome that here on the blog or wherever you see this video. Or my email address is pretty easy. It's john@johnspence.com. john@johnspence.com. My website is just www.johnspence.com. If you need anything, if you have a question, feedback, an issue, a complaint, a compliment, whatever you want, just send me a personal email or send me a note, and I promise I will get back to you as fast as I humanly can. Thanks so much. I truly wish you every happiness and success that you can possibly achieve. Now you know the secret to success. Go out and use it to improve your life and improve the lives of other people. Take good care.